Hi, my name is Nigel Maine. I'm the founder and managing director of Sales Exchange. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was the issue of consistent income, consistent business, consistent new business at that. You don't really need me to expound or expand on what it means when you don't get consistent new business. But for those of you that want me to not to prove a point, but to demonstrate that we know where we're coming from and what we're doing. New business doesn't just happen. We know that. New business happens as a result of consistent, regular exposure to people that you're able to tell your story to, and that's it. That's the bottom line. How many people you get to tell your story to. And the less frequently you do that, the less new business you get to enjoy. So one of the problems with businesses is that I can employ anybody that we want. We can recruit financial people, HR people, admin people. I mean, they're technical people, you name it. We can get hold of anybody that we want. But the biggest problem is getting hold of decent marketing people and decent salespeople. And they're necessary, not exclusively, but connectedly. They have to be connected. They have to know what the end-to-end story is about the company. It starts with marketing and it finishes with sales. One can't do without the other. One's not more special than the other. Just because some salesperson goes and closes the deal, you cannot detract from the efforts that have gone in by marketing over the previous year, 18 months of keeping information and content out there, if that's what you do. And if you do, then that's great. But we're not talking about businesses that are making it and doing it. We're talking about businesses that I don't know, tend to struggle. I mean, that's what business can be about. It can be a struggle because some of the foundational building blocks are not there and they're not being exploited on a regular basis. So if you look at your business, your new business and your new business activities, you have to see and evaluate what you're doing. And it can be difficult because it's not the smoke but something happens within businesses that stops people, managing directors that is, from being able to see the wood for the trees. There's so much going on. And I came across Funnelit some while ago, and Funnelit is a platform that you're able to track and follow your workflow for generating new business online. So you can have a banner to a landing page and a video and a form fill that links to an email series, which links to information being sent out, which links to call to actions, which link to people signing up. And so it's the ability of looking at your exploded method of operation and seeing where people come in, what they connect to, what their reaction can be to something that you've presented to them, and how they become customers. And so it's looking at not the customer experience, but the prospect experience. You know, people are so keen on looking at, well, what do we do for the customer? How are we doing this for the customer? But when it comes to the prospect, does that prospect journey look correct? Does it work? And a lot of people don't know if it works properly or not. Well, we just keep sending it out. I mean, there's some statistical information that says it takes about 10, call it 10 because the numbers are easier. It takes about 10 direct connections, 10 touches to get an organisation to recognise you. So you go, okay, we'll send out 10 emails for argument's sake. Send out 10 emails. But wait a second. Only 1 in 3 gets through because of spam spam folders and people don't take any notice or they delete it straight away and so on. So if 1 in 3 get through, that means you've got to have 30. So you've got to have 30 things that are being sent out that can precipitate an engagement by a prospect to your company. But you couldn't send 30 out in a day or one every day, because you know if someone did that to you, you'd get the needle. You'd be furious. How dare you keep spamming me every single day? So you've got to spread that out over a period of time. There are different touch points and different locations where you can put things, like on social media, or you send something, or you post something, or you invite them to something, and the list goes on. So what we do as business owners, we have to determine what's being done via marketing, because if you're not getting consistent business right now, it's because your marketing team aren't doing it accurately or properly. So there needs to be some adjustments made, but buck stops with you because you hold the purse strings. So the important thing to look at is, what can you do to start moving things down the correct path to get that new business happening? And the knock-on effects are staggering. You think about it. So you create a mechanism and a structure that delivers new business on a regular basis. It's not dependent on the weather. It's not dependent on some salesman. It's not based upon someone who's got the gift of the gab, who's got a good area or anything like that. It's based upon you as an organisation being in control of it, saying, right, we're going to send this information out. We're going to be consistent with this. I mean, this isn't particularly PC, but my view is, if they're not performing, sack them. It's as simple as that. If you're not doing it, get rid of them, because they're no good to you. Someone turns around to you in marketing from a marketing perspective and says, I need you to spend 60 grand. And most people's response is, you've got to be joking. I'm not doing that. But you take someone on and pay them 60 grand a year on a promise, on the basis that what they did at their previous company, they did okay there. They proved to you at the interview stage that they did the figures that they say they did. But they might have lost it. They might have got complacent and got lazy and just went, who knows? You don't know. But if you look at the way the salespeople work, they don't split test themselves. They don't say, right, I'm going to go to this appointment, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go to this appointment and say that, and see which one comes out the best. They're going to just go, well, I've always done it this way. I'm going to make sure I do it the same way, and hopefully I'm going to get another deal. And nobody sells to everybody they speak to. They just don't. It never happens that way. So that's why we're really keen on helping organizations systemize their marketing. Win with your marketing, and you can employ you can attract any salespeople you want. I would much rather organizations had less salespeople, but were able to sell more kit, simply because they're using marketing tools and marketing strategies and structures to ensure that they're getting consistent inbound traffic. So you look at the first part of this, and the first part is, if you're not getting consistent business, the company's got a problem, and it's stressful. The knock-on effect of not getting consistent business is awful, because it's almost like looking at the lifetime value of the customer. And if you're not realizing that lifetime value, it's going to cause problems. You're going to start having deals fall out of bed, or not supporting people properly because there's not enough money to do. And the knock-on effects are shocking. So if you get it right in the first place and get your new business mechanism nailed down in the first place, it means that your flow of new business is simpler and more consistent. But then it also means that the way that you're able to look after your customers long term is also consistent. And so that's the transition. So you go from it's almost like, not the fear factor, but you know what I mean, being stressed out because there's not enough business happening and what are the sales guys doing and so on, to, right, we're getting consistent business come in on a regular basis. That's fine. Let's keep working on it. Let's keep building on that. Because once you start realizing that new inquiries will drop in from that consistent new business activity, you can start planning how many salespeople you need. Do you need to take on more? I want my salespeople rushed off their feet. Going, we just can't handle the leads. Great, I'll take someone else on. And in addition, instead of the leads are rubbish, marketing are failing. We're not getting any new inquiries. I'm having to do cold calling myself. I'm having to act like a BDR and go on LinkedIn and try and find new business besides nonsense. I shouldn't have to be doing that. My view, my desired recommendation: you have a great marketing team, a great bunch of people that are generating this information and generating these inquiries, and it is consistent. And your salespeople go out and close it. That's it. We all know it's a numbers game. It's always been a numbers game. But the key is to be able to manipulate the numbers, to tweak the numbers, to tweak the activities, to improve it, to make it happen. And unfortunately, that's what doesn't happen. Because marketing people, I am a marketer, but I'm going to say, marketing people don't take risks. Very few. Because you can sack them. If they mess up, you come on and go, you messed up, you're fired, I'll get someone else in. And you take someone else on who says, oh, look at what I did at my previous job. You go, great, we'll do it here then. Not realising that way doesn't work anymore. It's changed. So whether you're looking at, video or whatever type of content you're looking at producing, consistency is the key. Absolutely the key. Because there's no point wasting money on loads of salespeople paying, big salaries, company cars, and all the other stuff that goes with it, and the cost of training them up. But let marketing play second fiddle. Absolute madness. So that's the kind of the driver here, which is inconsistent new business is a result of inconsistent marketing. I'm not bothered about salespeople. So the next part is, what's the change? What do we do to change this? And in simple terms, because we're not here saying, well, here's our product. You must buy our product, and this is the answer to all your problems. It's not about that. There are two key strategies, and the first one is, we call it Social 334, and Social 334 is about producing 3 content items and publishing them 3 times a day on social media over 4 weeks, 334, and then you repeat it. And the point of this is that you produce all of this information content in advance. Don't do it one at a time. Do it all in advance. You can you can appoint different resources. As far as contractors are concerned, you say, right, I want all of this work done in advance, up front. And by doing it in advance, up front, if you were to lay it all out on a whiteboard, per se, or a big screen, you can see all of your videos, all of your blogs, all of your landing pages, all of your adverts, all of your podcasts, and to see what they look like as you kind of flow month to month, week to week, and so on. You go, oh, that looks good. I'm happy with that. I can see our tone of voice. And so once that starts moving, and you've created this journey, this prospect journey, then you've done the work. You publish it automatically using Edgar or some of these other automated platforms, and wait for the inquiries to come in. And then you're going to send that information out to people that are either already on your list, or you've already got data in an email list or something like that, and you're able to communicate with them, so they can see there's new content coming out. There's a message here. Make sure you've got your brochures. I mean, we can only speak from our own experience. We always do. We're doing it. Works for us, and this is the key thing. The great thing about marketing and about marketing, entrepreneurial marketing ideas, is that not everybody's going to do it. That's that really excites me, because if everybody did it, you can't. It becomes difficult to differentiate yourself. But because you've got early adopters, you can say, right, you do it, you do it, you do it. You can have groups of people that are doing it. They're the ones that are going to own their space on social media until the other people catch up. And that's the really exciting thing about 334 and launch, which is about, once you've done your 334 and you've communicated with all these people, you're then able to say, right, we're going to launch our business now to these people that we've started communicating with, and invite them. You invite them for lunch. You invite them for an event somewhere, say at a local hotel, and speak to them. So you've got a captive audience. You only need 50. 100, 50, 20, 25, making a difference. But people that are genuinely interested in what you do, people like you. And that's what this all boils down to. You're not trying to sell to everybody. You're trying to sell to people like you. And your messages need to be clear enough and succinct enough for people to go, oh, I like him. I can deal with him. I see what he's saying. Yep. I've read it. I've seen it. I've listened to them. I've got the inside track on the company. I feel, because I can see, and I can see them. I can hear them. I can watch them. You've read the book, now watch the film, or vice versa. So these are all these things that come together, and that's what we want to encourage people to do. Do the 334. Do the launch. Time to rock and roll, because once that's happening, once you're enjoying the fruits of your labour, you can take it in the next step, which is to join a syndicate. You join a group of people and get access to their customers. So the social, sorry, not social, but the Sales Exchange syndicates are one of the products, one of the products that we orchestrate and we sell. But the important thing is that, you're watching these videos. We're putting information out there because we're doing something different. We haven't just got videos going out there. We've got downloads. We've got brochures for you to download. We've got podcasts. We've got all these different methods that enable us to communicate our message. And that the important thing about this is that we want to encourage you to do the same. And as a managing director, you can say, well, okay, I'm up for it individually, or I'm not, or I'm going to tell so-and-so to get onto this. We're going to start doing this. Because you've got nothing to lose. If you're planning on being in business next year, you have to plan for it. It's not just going to happen. We know it doesn't just happen. And if you plan on being in business long-term, and you're not looking just for that exit, that 5-year exit strategy, if you're looking to do this because you like doing it and you're good at doing what you do, you're going to want to plan for the future. So therefore, here is a long-term strategy for the future. End of. Starting with 334, then launch, then syndicates. Away you go. So that's all from me for now. Until the next time, I'm Nigel Maine. I'm the founder and managing director of Sales Exchange. And I look forward to chatting with you again on the next video. Bye for now.